So you're going to take us out with a poem, Michel.
I am. I have to get in my poet stance. So,
How does he do that?
the church that I hang out in was preaching its way through the book of Acts, and at the end they wanted to have a reflection, like we've just been in this place, let's think about what happened. And they asked me to write a poem about it, and it just drove me nuts, because every week we're in Acts, and I'm going, given the words and the actions that are happening, why do I even call myself a Christian? I'm in a completely different story than they were, right? Where, I'm worried about like how many miles per gallon I get, and they're giving away everything that they own to support the poor. I'm not part of this story, and this story disables me. I can't write a poem that's encouraging the way that you've been saying that these stories are supposed to be encouraging. But, I took them seriously and tried to write a poem, and at the end, I went, wow, that poem works. So here we go.
It's nice when that happens every once in a while.
It's called The Wasteland. Somewhere between the gate called Beautiful, where the lame man walked, and the day called Wonderful, when the last tear is dried and the dancing starts, wander a people who tell stories of wind filling a room with fire. They stumble through a wasteland, the world rendered scorched and barren, by the stories of life so rich that everything within reach is withered by the words. It's a vast desert, dotted with the occasional insufficient oasis, spaced slightly too far apart. Yes, there's a river of justice, running so wide and so deep, you dip your hands in it for cooling, and it runs through your fingers, dry pebbles and dust. Surrounded by a freedom so boundless that the horizon a life's walk away seems a prison in perspective. These stories too beautiful for words, a hope too hungry for the fuel of a beaten heart, or even all hearts together. No lament deep enough to fill the chasm between the utterance which shakes the pillars of creation and the timid noises which they hope at best will not spend their brief span echoing as lies. And yet still they sing with a joy unjustified, drink deep when water can be found, carrying what extra they can shoulder should they stumble upon someone thirsty, leaving footprints, impressions of truth, seedlings of green sprouting in the places where they have strode and swung their weight forwards. Step by step they write across the wasteland a version of the story which names the heartless desert as untruth.